I'm going to share 15 ideas with you to help you make more money from your content. For context, I've driven hundreds of booked calls for my own business, which has led to 7 figures in sales, and I've driven over $10 million in client sales through content. And so I've also been doing this for the last 3.5 years and have worked with over 100 clients. So let me share you a couple of lessons that I've learned. So I posted this the other day. This was a tweet from Justin Welsh where he basically was saying, all you have to do to make $165K per year is to get 120 people to a landing page every day and convert 3 of those at a $150 price point. That's it. And he does make it sound quite simple, but in my opinion, it is orders of magnitude more difficult to get 120 people to a landing page each day, especially with something like social content, organic social content, compared to just getting 5 clients to pay you $3K per month. I also think on the back end, it's like everyone's like, oh yeah, but then you have to keep working with the clients. It's like if you go and sell digital products, you also have to keep driving 120 new people every day to your site. Both of them take ongoing work. You can see this resonated. This got 150K views, a bunch of comments of people that were vehemently opposed or very much for this. So there's some controversy here, but this is my opinion. Next, the easiest way to get leads from content. So this is a lesson I have learned. I've spoken with several people who've posted content for years and they just never get leads. So this is the easiest way. If you're a web designer, show the websites you're building. If you're an ad buyer, show winning ads or make them. If you're an email marketer, show emails you're writing. Prove your competence, leads will follow. Simple as that. If you think you're going to win on a volume game, long term, you're just not going to win. Tim Ferriss. In a world of AI slop, here's what matters with your social content. Only you can create it. People get value from it. It outcompetes other pieces of content on the same subject. If you nail those, you'll keep winning. So this idea is we know that 5 years from now, we're going to have 2 times or 10 times or 100 times the amount of content on the internet that we do today. That's just the nature of having AI tools available. And so what that means is there's just going to be a lot more noise. And if you want to stand out, it's not going to be by producing more content than other people. There's just going to be too much out there. It's going to be by producing better content. And so leaning into better in these years, 2025, 2026, 2027, is it's the play. Underrated way to improve your copywriting, copy work. Before starting Tribe Digital, I personally committed to 2 things. 1, daily copy work, where I'd literally hand copy great pieces of content. And then 2, writing a minimum of 500 words a day. The copy work massively improved my pattern recognition, confidence, and ability to write for others. So I put together some of my favorite pieces. I'll actually drop a link to this post if you are interested in looking at any of these. But copy work is literally hand copying things, and what you start to notice after you've hand copied 30 sales letters is that you recognize certain words, you recognize certain phrases, and like my personal experience was I just became a lot more confident. I feel like I could convince people, I could be more persuasive with my writing. Next, memes are the best follow-up messages. The one below, there's Mr. Bean here, the Kevin Hart one, the Waiting Skeleton one, the Pablo Escobar one. Why? You're checking in, but you're doing it in a humorous way. Entertainment is a value add. Plus, life is too short not to use humor. Then I have this example, sending a Mr. Bean meme, and the person says, hello, that made me smile. Let's do it. I'm good tomorrow at 5 p.m. UK time. I ended up closing this person, actually. And this is just, people are always saying, make sure that you when you message people that it's valuable, that it's value first. Memes are a great way to provide value and some entertainment while you're doing your check-ins or follow-ups. Everyone loves blog posts and YouTube videos because of their long shelf life. Create today equals get views 3 years from now. Very few people realize you can do the same with X, LinkedIn, Instagram, and email. Create assets equals repurpose forever. The difference on X, LinkedIn, email, Instagram, you have to create separate posts, but you can draw from the library of content you've already built and you're 90% done. So people talk about YouTube because the discoverability, someone might find this YouTube video 3 years from now, 5 years from now, versus a LinkedIn post, maybe it lasts for 2 weeks, an X post lasts for 24 hours. But say that the X post does well, I'm using this X post that I wrote about a month ago for a YouTube video. And so the content can live on, the ideas can live on, and they're already packaged. You just have to organize them and continue to reuse them. Also very comparable to software in the way that people will say you build it once, you sell it twice, or you sell it 1,000 times. You kind of do the same thing with your content, which is awesome. Let's jump back here. Hormozy, so he had a strong claim. He basically said, I've never seen an agency that sells to small businesses get to $10 million plus in annual sales. Unless, one, you drop your price to $300 to $500, and the idea behind that is small businesses can pay for it on their very worst month. So they have a down month and they're not going to fire you because you're $5K. They can afford a $300 payment even on their worst month. Or option two, you go enterprise. So you start selling things at $5K or $10K a month, but you go with bigger companies, so it feels like $300 or $500 a month to those companies. That's what he says. I was very interested to hear what other people had to say. Like based on some of the comments, and like I do believe this for the most part, and I think you can get to a couple $1 million per year with just right in the middle, 3, 5, maybe even 7. But agencies become churn factories unless you do one of these two things. So this is really cool. This is Cole. He was saying that Medium is dead. You could see he got paid $18. He used to get thousands of dollars a month. But basically he just says that at one point he's making 6 to 12K. Digital writing platforms change. His thesis for writing online isn't based on platform-specific tactics. It's to focus on building a niche library of content. And then if you have that library of content, you don't have to start over. Cool. So having a library is better than being viral. That's kind of his idea. So I was just highlighting this and saying, if you hire a content agency, this is actually the biggest benefit. Everyone wants to hire a content agency because they want more leads or they want more followers. But the real value is actually in the library of content. And so in Cole's case, something that I've seen him do, which is really interesting, is he used his Twitter library of content that he built, and he literally just republished his tweets onto LinkedIn and grew from 0 to 100K followers on LinkedIn. Repurposed the exact same library of content. I don't think he created many new pieces. It was like almost exclusively the stuff that he'd already built. And he even had a team doing that for him. So the idea of building, like the real leverage is in your evergreen library of content. You create it once, you repurpose forever. Everyone wants to write AI written content. No one wants to read it. That's the harsh truth. When people know that you wrote something with AI, the perceived value drops tremendously. I spoke with a prospect who wants done-for-you services for 3 months to, quote, get it right, then wants me to train his team internally for 2 months to handle it going forward. This is a great strategy more companies should follow. I run an agency. I would love people to stay with me for 5 years. The reality is that's not always the best use case of an agency for some companies. So the idea behind this is go make sure things are being done properly and then build it out internally. Have your team handle it internally. I love it. I'm on board with helping people do that. I'm happy to help people figure out the best circumstance for their business. And also, as long as I can help them, I will also help them. Next. I spoke with someone yesterday who gets 800 likes per LinkedIn post, 100 plus comments, 20 plus reposts. That's on every post. I asked them how. They joined a cohort, 30 people comment on every post. Big engagement group. They have 0 clients and 0 leads. That's why we were on the call. Lesson in there. I don't get 800 likes per LinkedIn post or 100 comments or 20 reposts. I get closer to 50 likes and 20 comments and a couple thousand impressions. It's nothing crazy, especially compared to a guy like this. He's getting more than 10 times the probably impressions and engagement than I am. But I probably drive, well, he's at 0, so many times, but I was going to say 10 times more revenue than he does from my audience. And so there's just a game to be played here, which is, are you trying to be famous or are you trying to drive revenue? And the answer to that question dramatically changes the type of content you create. 1 week of posting on Substack without much traction has yielded more subscribers than my X account has in the last month with 8K plus followers. So you could say I'm bullish on the platform. So I went ahead and started publishing on Substack Notes. The main reason why, by the way, I'm not moving my newsletter over. I'm just publishing short form content there. The main reason why is because when you're on Substack, there's a little subscribe button that appears next to everybody's face. Super frictionless to get email subscribers. And so that's why I'm there. I'm just there to drive traffic. I still host my newsletter on Kit, but this note says it all. Like it's been a good platform. Might be a short-term arbitrage, but planning on leaning in. If you're watching this beginning of 2026, end of 2025, it might still be a good time for you. One of the easiest ways to land your dream 100 clients. Number 1, pick something your ideal prospects have a problem with. 2, pick something that requires little of them. 3, pick something that's easy for you to do but hard for them to do. Then do it for free. Get your foot in the door, upsell later. I've done this to land several dream clients. It works. The whole purpose and reason of marketing is to build trust. Once you have trust, you can sell people things because you're trustworthy and they know you're not going to screw them. And so the whole idea, we'll often call this a foot in the door offer or a Trojan horse offer, is you just do something that's very compelling for them for free, get your foot in the door, and then upsell them. I could dig a lot deeper into each of these 3, but basically if you're planning on doing this as a consistent marketing channel, it's much more efficient to figure out the same solution that you can do over and over again versus doing something custom for a bunch of different clients. And so, for example, maybe I'm really good at writing case study posts and those drive leads for people. So I offer to create case study posts for my ideal audience for free. I'll just create it for them and I send it to them and they publish it. And maybe I pull it from their YouTube channel or from their website or something along those lines, so that number 2, something that requires little of them. And then 3rd, be pretty easy for me to do. I have a team of writers I could send the work to. Hard for them to do. They don't know how to do it. They probably don't know how to make it sound compelling or interesting. So that would be an example that fits all 3 of these. And I could go and probably land some dream clients with that offer. People love software for one reason: build once, sell twice. Yet they rarely think of content that way: create once, repurpose forever, even on platforms that don't have long shelf lives. So I talked about this earlier, but it's worth repeating. You can create content once and then you can keep repurposing it. Yeah, you probably want to create some fresh stuff. It's nice, and you want to update your ideas, update your software, so to speak. But the idea's there, you can continue to use. All right, the compounding variables of content. Number 1, social audience. More people will tell more people. Number 2, a bingeable library. Write once, use 1,000 times. Number 3, brand. People associate you with your values over and over. Number 4, owned distribution. An email list you can contact regardless of social algorithms, in case you needed another reason to post on Substack, X, LinkedIn, wherever. So attention doesn't compound because attention is scarce, but there are aspects of content that compound and continue to improve over time. So like I said, if you have a bigger audience, you have more people that can share your content. If you have a big library, one person comes in, they might go and binge 15 different YouTube videos. They might read a bunch of posts. They might consume a bunch of articles or emails. Your brand, if Nike keeps saying just do it, you're going to, every time you think just do it, you're going to think about Nike. Own distribution, say that you build a big following on some platform and they ban you, or your traffic just drops off a cliff. The good news is you can push people off platform onto your email list, and that compounds over time. And that's it. 15 ideas that will help you generate more revenue from your content. Hope that was helpful.